Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, Henry is a character that was technically in 3 seasons of The Walking Dead. He was played by different actors, but Henry, the character, was on The Walking Dead from season 7 to season 9. He was killed off in season 9, episode 15, this past Sunday's episode. And it was a huge, just devastating episode. Most people lost at least one character that they liked because so many characters were killed. Now, basically, the three main deaths, the three main characters that they got decapitated and had their zombie heads put on spikes were Henry, Enid, and Tara. And, you could argue Tara's the biggest one, whatever. But pretty much Henry, Enid, and Tara were the three biggest ones. And some people are happy Henry's dead. Some people are sad Henry's dead. Henry was kind of a controversial character. Some people really didn't like him. Some people thought the actor was bad. Some people thought the character was dumb. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of the people that really liked Henry, and I not only did I really like Henry and really liked his character and his personality and what he stood for. And keep in mind, he's supposed to be like a 17-year-old. I believe he's supposed to be around that age in the story, and good grief, cut the kid some slack, man. He's just. What if he is dumb? What if he was just a dumb 17-year-old? Are you really gonna shit your pants that much over a dumb 17-year-old boy? It's a thing. It happens. He was young, but I don't even think he was that bad. I think he was. He wasn't, he lacked the seasoning that characters like Daryl and Carol and Michonne have, but I like that he was kind of a pure heart and a pure soul, and, he was optimistic and always wanted to do the right thing, and I like that he went out and rescued Lydia. Some people didn't like that Henry went out and rescued Lydia. Some people just wanted Lydia, this teenage girl, to continue to be abused and beaten. And keep in mind, currently has no idea how to be a normal person because she never learned. She doesn't understand how to be what most people are in real life, what most people are in The Walking Dead. She has no idea how to be that because she was raised from the apocalypse. The Walking Dead right now is, 10 years into the apocalypse, maybe 9. So most of her life, maybe a little over half of her life. And Alpha told a story about how she hit her really hard when she was 3 years old. So Lydia's been abused, and it wasn't just when the apocalypse started; it was before the apocalypse. She's been abused, beaten, raised like an animal, raised like a savage, controlled by her mother. I'm glad that Henry wanted to rescue her. Did he risk lives? Maybe. There is the thing in the comics. Where in the comics, Carl basically does the same thing, and it's Lydia and Alpha and everything, but it's Carl instead of Henry. Carl goes out, rescues Lydia, and that kind of causes the heads on spikes to happen. But Alpha says that she would have done it anyway. Now in the show, it seems like that didn't happen, or it hasn't been confirmed yet. Maybe it would have still happened despite Henry's actions. Beta did say all we wanted was the girl, but that deal is done. So maybe they did kill those people because of what happened with Lydia. I don't know, but Connie supported what Henry did. I don't see anyone complaining about Connie. Daryl said that if they get Lydia, their friends could die, and Connie says that they have friends and Lydia doesn't, and I think that's a good point. I would not want a teenage girl, someone like Lydia, to just be raised and having to live like that. I almost think that that's something that's worth risking lives for. I don't know. I agree with Henry. I support it, and I don't hate him. I understand where people are coming from that hate him, but I understood his motivations. I understood his character, and I thought he was a really good guy. He was a really good person. Probably just like the most morally pure person in this season, and naturally that kind of gets you killed. That has sort of been held true consistently with the show pretty much almost the entire time ever since the first episode of the series, or maybe the first season. It's usually the really good people like Dale and Beth and Herschel and Tyrese. When Tyrese became a really good person, usually becoming a really good person gets you killed, and Henry was a really good person. As far as his death goes, I mean, I would have liked to have seen him survive, but I kind of get it. I mean, I was someone that for months and months and months now has been very outspoken about how I wanted Ezekiel and Rosita to survive the heads on spikes. I didn't want them to get those deaths. And I'm if they traded Henry and Tara or whoever for Rosita and Ezekiel, I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, I did want someone to die. For some reason, I wanted someone to die that on the heads on spikes that would really hurt Carol. I don't know why. I think in for the Whisperer War in season 10, you want Carol to really, really be emotionally invested in that. You don't want her. You know that she's a killing machine. You know she's a badass. That's regardless of whether or not Henry or Ezekiel or died or anything. But it's not just that. I wanted Carol to be in it, in it, like emotionally in it. I want her to be relevant to that storyline for her to be emotionally just, sort of like how Maggie was just really deeply emotionally intertwined in All Out War because of Glenn's death. I kind of wanted that for Carol in the Whisperer War. And I'm glad that she is. And I'm also glad that a character I really, really, really liked and really, really, really did not want to die, Ezekiel, survived. I mean, if Henry got traded for Ezekiel and, Tara got traded for Rosita, I'm okay with that. I mean, I really like Rosita and Ezekiel. I'm sorry, but it's just one of those things. I like Tara and Henry. I like them a lot, but it's not like I wanted the heads on spikes to not have sad deaths. I wanted the heads on spikes to have sad deaths. I just didn't want it to be Ezekiel or Rosita. All things considered, I kind of got my wish, and I think a lot of people that were not wanting Ezekiel and Rosita to die, they kind of got their wish. I mean, there's people out there that hate Tara, Henry, and Enid. They're probably throwing a party right now. I'm not kidding. Particularly Tara and Henry, they're very hated characters in YouTube comments. Now, Enid, I don't like Enid, but yeah, those were like the top 3 main ones that died. And overall, I agree with it. Would I have liked Henry to have developed and go into season 10? Yeah, absolutely. I think Henry was one of those characters that he was sort of carrying on Comic Carl's storyline, so I would have liked for him to have continued to do that and continue to have been the Comic Carl character and continue to get that role, or maybe come into his own and develop as a completely different character that's not having anything to do with the comics. That would have been fine too. Either way, I would have been okay with it because I wanted Henry to develop, and I wanted Henry to evolve as a person and continue on in the story in the show. I would have liked to have seen Henry for seasons more, but I liked Ezekiel. And I kind of feel like if it was anyone that they traded Henry for, it was Ezekiel. They kind of traded Henry for Ezekiel, and I'm kind of okay with that because I liked Ezekiel and wanted Ezekiel in the Whisperer War. Ezekiel in the Whisperer War seems more interesting than Henry in the Whisperer War. I wanted sad deaths. Like I said, it's not that I wanted all the characters to be characters I didn't care about. I wanted sad deaths. But I didn't want it to be sad deaths that I completely disagree with. So I think it worked out pretty well. I don't completely disagree with Henry's death. I probably would have disagreed with Ezekiel and Rosita. So I'm glad that Ezekiel and Rosita survived. As for Henry, I liked him, but I think he had a full story arc. He was developed, and he was just too good for this world, and that's not something that's out of place for The Walking Dead to kill a character that's too good for this world. So I'm kind of okay with Henry's death. And as for the actor, I think Matt Lintz did a terrific job. I don't know why people are calling him a bad actor because of like his jaw or something, like his face. I think that's just his facial structure. Look up his sister, Madison Lintz. Her jaw kind of looks the same way. So I don't think he's like perking his lips or anything. And I think he did bring a lot of emotion in a lot of rawness into Henry. He's like I said, a 17-year-old boy that just doesn't quite understand why characters like Daryl and others are, doing this morally gray stuff and wanting Lydia to continue to be abused, and he goes out and rescues her, and he was brave. He wanted to do the right thing. He had feelings for Lydia. I don't think he was being like talking like a robot or anything, or being stoic. I could hear the emotion in his voice. I think he gave a strong performance. I really do. I will defend his performance forever. I will defend Henry's character forever. But I still like his death. I think it was a sad death, and he had a complete story arc, and I think it fits well enough. And I'm glad it's him and not someone like Ezekiel or Rosita. So, do I think Henry was killed off too soon? A little bit, but I'm okay with his death. I get it. Season 9 needed sad deaths, and I'm glad it's not Rosita or Ezekiel. Or Cal. Anyway, that's all I have for this video, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 458 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 500 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 500. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye!